Good morning, everyone. This is Vatsal Shah, a CEO, coach, and mentor from Pragmatic Consultancy. It's my privilege and honor to welcome you to the VSF Conference 2022. It's organized by View Storefront and Auret Labs jointly. And today we are going to have two type of tracks towards VSF, like business tracks and the technical tracks. We also have merchant tracks where I will be interviewing merchants and bringing their story, how they brought success. And we have Philip also coming in, who is from the VSF itself, is going to share the roadmap of VSF. And we have a great line of speakers today. So let's start with the first one. It's our own Indian Piyush Lathiya from Auret Labs, the CEO of Auret Labs. He's going to share his views on how to plan headless commerce strategy, because this has been a great question in people's mind, that whether I should go for headless or not, or whether it is the right technology for me or not. And nowadays VSF is also helping connect with a lot of platforms in the background. So people have a dilemma that how to go headless, what should be my right strategy, what should be my combination of technology stack. A lot of questions are there. We will clear the air, and then we will understand, okay, how it can be planned and how it can be utilized in the best possible manner. To start with, let's look at a headless strategy from Piyush from Auret Lab. Thank you.
Thank you, Vatsal Shah, for kick off this conference. Namaste, India. Very good morning. Warm welcome to everyone who are joining from different countries and time zone. Like Vatsal mentioned, there are interesting speakers lined up today. So stay tuned throughout this event. In last year event, there was a major focus on technical topics, but this time we brought business tracks as well, right? So in business track, there are two merchant interviews lined up today. So make sure you attend a session of Halil from Lovecrafts. They're using View Storefront plus Commerce Tools as their headless commerce solution. And the second interview is of Ritvik from Miko, which is Disney Accelerator. They go headless with View Storefront and Shopify Plus. Apart from that, there are technical tracks where you will learn about how to go headless with Shopify, Storyblocks, and Magento. In the last session, there are interesting updates about View Storefront, which is going to be delivered by Philip, who is CTO and co-founder of View Storefront. Yeah, so make sure you don't miss any of the session today. And after the event, make sure that you enjoy the networking and meet with the like-minded people. Again, I welcome all speakers and View Storefront community members for make this event so successful. So I'm the first speaker of this event. Let me give you my introduction. I'm the founder and CEO of Aureate Labs. We are an e-commerce business. We are into e-commerce business since last 1 decade. Before jumping into my presentation, I would like to share a story of Auret Labs and View Storefront partnership in a timeline manner. So in November 2018, right, at the time we started exploring a couple of frameworks using which we can build PWA or PWA for our e-commerce clients, right? We spend like thousands of hours in testing different framework, and finally we end up with the View Storefront. At the time, View Storefront was associated with Devante, and only Magento integration was available at that time, right? In February 2019, I met Tom Karvakta in India, who was speaker for Meet Magento India event. It was my first meeting with him. We did intense discussion on future of PWA and headless commerce. This meeting got me more confidence on View Storefront and their future vision. Uh, in the same month, we become first partner of View Storefront from the India. Uh, in June 2019, we deliver our first headless commerce store for our client. Our team started contributing in core code of View Storefront, and in July 2019, we became our first core partner from Asia Pacific region. In late 2019, we realized that many Magento customers were migrating from Magento 1 to Shopify, and that market was growing. At that time, we realized that there are many limitations with Shopify, and we think headless commerce can fix that, right? So in December 2019, we began our research on figuring out how we can build Visual Fund and Shopify integration. Uh, After 2 months, we concluded that yes, we can do it. Uh, in February 2020, we started building Shopify integration on the top of Visual Fund Next, which is known as VSF2 at this moment. In July 2020, we launched our first developer preview and also launched first proof of concept Shopify website, right? In March 2021, we organized first Visual Fund India meetup, and it was great success. In April 2021, we launched beta version of Shopify integration in Visual Fund Summit. Finally, in August 2021, we launched first stable version of Shopify integration. And till that, using this integration, 4 brands go headless with Shopify and Visual Fund. Out of these four, two are brand of Fortune 500 companies. One is Miko, which is Disney Accelerator. In today's merchant interview, Ritvik from Miko will speak about this. We spent almost 18 months building this integration, and we are super proud. And still, we are keep working to improvise it and take it to the next level. So yeah, that's all about Visual Fund and Aureate Labs relationship. So now let's begin with my today's presentation. Okay, so in last 3 years, I got chance to consult with 150 plus brands from various countries for headless commerce approach. My role for these brands was to identify if headless commerce approach is right for them or not. During this consultation, I came across with diverse use cases and various pain area of their businesses. I also noticed that many of the merchants were not aware of what exact problem headless commerce is solving. They heard about headless commerce buzzword and they just has a desire to go headless, right? So that was also case. Also, when it comes to the decision making, almost all merchants were skeptical about ROI and changes they are bringing into their organization. Based on this experience, we come up with one model using which one can decide that going headless is right for them or not. Although headless commerce is fairly new technology and a little complex to explain, but I will try to simplify it as much as possible during my presentation. Yeah. So this is my agenda. I will explain how easy to start your online store, which results into cutthroat competition in market. Uh, in this crowded market, customers has more options, so their buying patterns are changing. And real question is, are your store is meeting customers' need? In this competitive market, how headless can help build next generation e-commerce store for you? What is the benefits of headless, and it is right option for you or not? If you are inclined towards headless commerce approach, then what you should consider before going headless? During the presentation, if you have any questions, please post them into QA section, which is right hand side, and I'll make sure to answer them all after this session. Yeah. Uh, I believe everyone here knows how it is easy to start an online business. There are many tools and platform available which decrease your, I would say, increase your go-to-market time significantly, uh, which was not the case 10 year back, right? Right now, lots of tools and lots of software are available, which actually make merchants' life way easier. Yeah, so quickly, let me explain a few steps to start your online store. Uh, the very first step is obvious discovery. You need to figure out what do you want to sell, in which market you want to sell, and how you would like to uh, deliver your goods or products, right? You have two options. Either you can procure goods from supplier, or you can consider doing drop shipment as well. There are lots of options available in the market for drop shipping as well. Once your delivery is complete, once your discovery is completed, the next step is to find right e-commerce platform. And there are plenty of options available in the market, which are insanely easy to use and very affordable. For example, one can create and set up Shopify store within one day. Uh, Fintech and logistic industry are on the boom especially after COVID. You can find best suitable option for payment and delivery in no time. Uh, Fine. So launching online store was the first basic step, but actual game starts after it goes live, right? So launch is very easy, but to maintain the store and do a right marketing, that is quite challenging, right? In this crowded market, customer has many options to shop from. So if your store is not meeting your customers expectation, then you will be out of the game soon, right? Because everyone wants that customers purchase products from their website, right? It's like that. For example, everyone wants that their website should rank first on the Google. Yeah. Uh, Research suggests that 90% e-commerce stores fail or can't be profitable within first year. Uh, there are many reasons why customers don't purchase from your website. I have mentioned few of them are here. Uh, we are living in smartphone and super fast internet era, right? We sleep and wake up with the smartphone. We need everything at our fingertips. If internet goes slower or your Instagram reels take time to load, you get really frustrated, right? In this time, if your website is slow to load on customers devices, then they'll simply look for another store, right? So to having a faster website is very, very necessity. Let's say your website speed is good, but your website navigation experience is poor, then your customer will struggle to find right product which is they are actually want to purchase, right? This will result in increasing in bounce rates, and you have to pour more money into the uh, marketing, yeah, or ad spend. Uh, for average customers, almost 70% traffic on your website coming from the mobile devices. So you need to think about your mobile experience, right? So mobile first experience is the necessity right now. Uh, the same way, you need to define right marketing strategy to build to bring right traffic to your website. Let's understand what your customer wants from your website. Yeah. To summarize, your customer wants to summarize what your customers want, right? So very first is yeah, your customer wants super fast website which loads within 2 or 1 second on your mobile devices. uh, Customers are don't really read content on your website, right? Instead they are actually scanning through your website, right? So bite size content helps significantly in product discovery. You don't unnecessarily need to write long or put your effort into writing long form content, which maybe maybe your customer is not going to read, right? For example, if you are into skincare brand and you don't need to write many things about how to use steps, right? Simply you can explain this within your product images, right? Which take friction of time for consumers to understand what your products does, right? So it's super helpful. Many customers are okay to make payment through secure wallets, right? They had to insert their shopping and credit card or payment details again and again. Uh, if you can make checkout super easy, then chances are really high that you'll get higher conversion rates, right? Now, real question is that your current standard e-commerce platform, for example, Magento, Shopify, BigCommerce, has this all capability out of the box? Uh, the answer certainly would be no, because a standard e-commerce platform built to solve basic purpose, you need to identify your customers' needs and make those customization accordingly. Uh, yeah. So now let's understand how headless commerce can actually help in building breakthrough experiences, right? So, headless commerce, if you don't know headless commerce, then I'll just give you a brief about that. So, yeah, headless commerce is the concept where you actually take front end, you actually decouple front end from its back end and connect front end and back end through the APIs. You can even host front end and back end independently, right? So when you actually do this decoupling, right, so you will have total control on front end and back end. The your front end team can manage front end independently, and your back end team can manage back end independently, right? So less friction between the developers, and you can get more result, and you can make responsible bot teams independently, right? So you can pull out more work. uh, yeah, so now you have independent front end, so you can use any modern front end technology to uh, build a front end, right? For example, if you are on Magento, then you have to use Magento's legacy PHTML system, right? If you are using Shopify, then you have to use Liquid, right? So you don't have any other choice. But imagine if you just uh, take out front end from Magento or Shopify, then you can decide in which language you actually wanted to build this front end, right? So you can build this presentation layer, or so basically you can build this front end using modern technology, let's say progressive web apps. You can either use Vue.js or React.js. Using this technology, you can build lightning fast store, which has sub-second loading speed, and you can build the best user experience without limitation of your monolith, right? You can scale front end and back end independently, right? So bottom line is that headless brings lots of flexibility and freedom in terms of development and management, which is the pain area in legacy monolith architecture. Yeah. Let's try to understand how decoupling of front end and back end can help stores to generate more sales. There are rapid changes in consumer buying patterns, and frequency of buying online stores have been increased. Many numbers of stores are launched every day. The competition in the market is all-time high. Now customers have many choices to buy from. They choose a store which delivers the best experience. Also, the technology are evolving, and merchant has to keep it with it as well. So delivering best buying experience is no more choice; it is necessity. Uh, customer centricity is modern version of marketing. What consumer feel when they are on your website matters most. They end up paying more if your buying experience is top notch, which significantly improves your retention rates, right? When you go headless, you have control on front end, and you can implement exact same thing which you actually plan with pen and paper. Uh, in monolith architecture, you don't have this luxury. You have to follow norms defined by particular platform or technology framework, right? We show a revolution in internet usage in past few years. Average attention span of consumer are shrinking, and website speed becomes factor which store owner has to consider it. Now Google also incentivize high speed websites. Uh, there's no argument that speed of your website directly affects to conversion rates. Slow website means high bounce rates. You need to pour more money into paid ads to bring more traffic, uh, which increase your customer acquisition cost, right? Default speed of almost monolith architecture is fast, but eventually based on your business need, you have to make manage customization, which makes your front end heavy and directly affects your store speed of your store, right? For example, it's the research suggests that not research, this is actually fact that on an average, one Shopify store has more than five third party application installed, right? So when you are install more third party application, each third party application has their own JavaScript library, something like that, right? Which actually increase the burden on your front end, which actually one of the main reason of slowing down your performance. Yeah. Using headless and progressive web apps, you can load your website within sub-second because of its architecture. Uh, Now I talk about personalization. Yeah, personalization is not necessarily that you just grade your customers when they come to their website, right? So personalization is something different. Let me just try to explain. Uh, Using a hyper personalization, brands can uh, curate marketing strategy and build experience for individual customers or customer sets using customers behavior data, analysis and analytics, artificial intelligence, and through automation. Imagine you are going to a store where you feel everything is made the way you wanted, and this looks very different to every user. That's called hyper personalization. Yeah, you can uniquely deliver relevant message to target users for your online stores. There are many different ways you can achieve personalization. For example, you can show personalized recommendation on product detail pages based on their visiting patterns and their demographic. You can help customers to finish their product discovery faster, which helps online stores in increasing in conversion rates. There are many personalization tools available in the market. For example, Nosto or dynamic yields. If you are on headless architecture, it becomes very easy to quickly test different tools or app within limited time. So that is the one of the advantage of headless commerce. It has the flexibility. Many e-commerce managers spend lots of time in deciding that something will work for them or not. Uh, will their decision put any adverse effect to consumer behavior or not? Usually, they end up with lots of biases and assumptions. Uh, Running A/B testing experiments usually helps them to remove their biases and bring best version of their website or particular page. Uh, Few experiments are easy to run, and some requires a lot more developers intervention. If you are on headless architecture, then your front end team will have total control on their front end stack, and they can write piece of code the way you want, and it doesn't affect to your backend too much. So literally, you can get more freedom to run more experiments in limited time. Okay, so uh, I walk you through headless commerce benefits till now. Let's explore if headless commerce is the right choice for you or not. At Aureate Labs, we use a 0 to 100 scale method as a first step to identify if headless commerce is right for any brands or not. Uh, Here, zero meaning you have some idea to start online store, but you are yet to figure out, and 100 meaning you are on the top of the world. There is no or very limited scope of improvements. So basically, this 0, 1, or 10, this scale is not directly has no direct relation with revenue. For example, for few companies, reaching to $50 million in revenue can be their 10th level, and for another company to reaching $5 billion can be their 10th level, right? So you need to figure out your where you are, right? uh, to make this little simplified, I'll give some idea for each stages. uh, Very first is 0 to 1. During this stage, you figure out what you want to sell. You establish your supply chain. You have basic website which brings sales. You are constantly working on customer feedbacks. At stage 1, there are lots of dots in your mind which you wanted to connect in order to scale your business. The next level is 1 to 10. In this stage, brand finds that their products are market fit. Once this benchmark is achieved, they start looking to add new products and categories to their online stores. At the same time, they start facing some limitation of their current e-commerce platform. They wanted to add some features, but their e-commerce platform simply doesn't allow them to do it because maybe it is too complicated for them to do it. Uh, After stage 10, you face maximum challenges in your business for scaling. Uh, n- uh, in this stage, normal pricing plans on SaaS products are not a right fit for your business. You have to go into enterprise plans. At this stage, you start thinking about efficient inventory management. You increase your cross functional team. You need catalog manager. Also, in many cases you make decision which is revolves around your e-commerce platform. For example, if you are on Shopify and you wanted to make major customization on checkout page, because you know by doing that you can build better customer experience, right? But limitation of Shopify doesn't let you do that, right? So at that time, yeah, headless commerce is something you can think of. uh, okay, this stage, between 90 to 100, I would say it is a god stage. You are on the top of your game and you have capabilities to change customers behavior or acquire others business which adds more value to your businesses. So coming to headless commerce decision making, right? We found that most of the cases when you are between stage 0 to 10, you don't necessarily need to go with headless commerce. As soon as you cross stage 10, headless commerce is ideal option for you for various reasons, because 10 plus stage is where you have more spending power, more customers to experiment with. You have more products and you have lots of room for experiment as well. Yeah. So still, there's exception. Even though you are between 0 to 10 stage, you can opt for headless commerce in few cases. For example, you are funded startup and you have sharp vision that where you are heading at that time. At that time, making headless commerce decision will make sense for you, because after a couple of years, migrate to headless commerce again would proven to be a costlier option. Rebranding or replatforming, meaning you are rebuilding your website, so it make more sense you opt for headless commerce approach. uh, if your website performance is poor, you can't scale on your current platform, then you should consider going headless approach. Yeah. No doubt, headless commerce comes with great power, but it demands other many things, right? If I talk about cost, for headless implementation, you need different developer skill set than your standard e-commerce developers. You either need to build a team or need to find right headless commerce agency who do this for you. When you go headless, your front end will be decoupled from its backend, and you need to host front end on the a different instant or server, which will add extra cost. Also, likely when you go headless, you likely use third party CMS or email automation or uh, for example push notification kind of service. So you need to add more cost there also. When you go headless, you need to reskill your resources who can operate new architecture efficiently, which again comes with the cost. Uh, Implementing headless commerce helps you stand tall from your competitor, right? You can deliver unique shopping experience to your customers. Uh, Great buying experience helps to delight your customers and increase sales and lifetime value, right? So this is something can justify money you are investing in headless commerce. High performing stores decrease bounce rates and optimize customer acquisition cost. Headless is future proof, right? So if you wanted to change backend platform or any other application, you can do it because of its decoupled nature, right? uh, yeah, so yeah, in today's presentation I tried to make things more simplified than it is, but uh, it might be help you in thinking in right direction. Again, going headless is not silver bullet. You need to look into your current business priorities, goals, and you need to keep your eye on future trends. Yeah. So yeah, that's all from my end. Thank you for listening to me. Yeah, thank you very much.